Hello folks, as I said before, I was going to review something, entertainment or art, for today. Since I didn't get any replies at the end of my last video where I asked for your opinions what I should review, I am making a review of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I have played that and all the legal official plugins, DLCs if you want, through for a couple of times. I like that game a lot, but I found there's a lot to improve when I got my hands on Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim just a few weeks ago. I found the main quest of Oblivion nauseating. It was just another premeditated quest where you had little choice what to do. It has to be done to get the best armor in the game, heavy armor, mind you. And I didn't quite like the idea of that. You should have a choice whether, since the point in Oblivion is the freedom to roam around, and Elder Scrolls, that's what I expect from all that I had heard before I got Oblivion. Late last year, around this time of the year. And I was kind of disappointed. Of course, the game mechanics I liked, and in the concept of the year of its publishing, it was good, graphically and mechanically, but I didn't quite like the thing where you had to do certain quests to be able to do something. The game more freedom to do shit you want in that world. That was full of shit, if you ask from me. Well, a great bonus to the main quest was Sean Bean was voice acting a major character in the main plot, who, surprise surprise, died in the end of that quest. Who's surprised? Not me. Sean Bean's born to die almost every time. I heard he made one movie he didn't die in, and that's called the worst movie he's ever done. As I said, I love the mechanics of Elder Scrolls, and I thought they were pretty good in Oblivion, but they were nauseating to control. But the menus, the map, skills, achievements, spells, equipment, inventory, they were all accessed via the tab button on the keyboard, and that was simple and I liked it, and they kept it similar but more advanced in the sequel. I have not played much of Morrowind. I noticed certain things I don't love about myself. I blamed one guy I was in the same dorm with last year to be a graphics whore for not liking Super Nintendo also, but I didn't quite like Morrowind. It looked too pixely and too crude it tried to be a modern game, but it really couldn't. The graphics were horrible for PC game. Super Nintendo, I don't mind as much. Actually, I love Super Nintendo. But Oblivion, in my opinion, in terms of modern PC game, is the first game of the series worth playing if you care even a little bit about graphics in the game. And Oblivion is far from perfect. The great modability is one of the chief things in the game that makes it worth your while. You could get, for me, I got a lot of quest plugins, quest mods, bring lots of more content with lots of more freedom to choose. There were actually quests you can choose whether you kill a person or don't kill a person, and that affects a lot the gaming experience. And there was actually this one mod that modified the main quest, that if you had second thoughts about after completing the main quest, you could join your forces with the antagonist, a Daedric prince, Mehrunes Dagon. It's Daedric princes are like demon lords or some such. On another plane, they are like worshipped as gods by some people, and you could join your forces with him, and after you defeat him, basically, and bring his rule onto the world, it of course kind of destroys the point of the game. Oblivion Crisis is the theme of the game, so it really couldn't have been that way in the official game, because that would have destroyed the point for a sequel game. If a Daedric prince gets his physical form on a plane, the dragons are kinda only creatures that can oppose him, and a human being with dragon blood in him defeated him in the end, sacrificing his own life in the process. That's cool, but there weren't really any dragons left in the world who could have stopped him, and even dragons can stop him while he hasn't acquired his full strength in the world. So that doesn't, to me, it's like a turn off. You know, I would have liked to go at him like sword and sorcery style and beat the heck out of that Daedric prince, and that's just not possible. You can beat any amount of his servants, but not him. And if the strongest of dragons is at the similar strength than he is, Alduin that appears on Skyrim, it's Skyrim's the main antagonist. I can't quite agree on that you can kill an immortal dragon, but you can only banish Daedric Prince from the living realm. That doesn't make any sense. My voice is not as well as it was yesterday. Maybe it has something to do with me smoking a cigarette previously. Oblivion is a fun experience. if I were to give it a grade from 1 to 10, I'd say it's, without any mods, it's a solid 7, but with the mods adding more content, bringing more stuff to guilds like Dark Brotherhood, the Assassin's Guild, I love that thing. I add lots of content to that, and equipment, characters, lots of different stuff. You can even graphically enhance the game with mods, and that, depending on which mods you use, it's basically 8 out of 10. If you like pornography, you can modify it to be such way. You can have sex with other characters. I tried that out, but with Oblivion, I don't think that works quite. Once I have played everything Skyrim has to offer me, I will do a review on that game as well. I think Oblivion is a solid 8 with proper modding. And if you disagree with me, give me your reasons. I hate posts like "You're wrong, dude." That's not a proper argument. I like to discuss a lot. So if you disagree with me, give me a comment. If you agree with me, give me your comments nonetheless. Dislike this video, like this video, whatever. If you haven't played Oblivion, and if you have played some other Elder Scrolls, most likely Skyrim, give Oblivion a shot. It gives you better understanding for things there have been discussions about on the Skyrim, like the Oblivion crisis, which ended the 3rd era, if I remember correctly. In Skyrim there's 4th era going on. Play Oblivion if you haven't. It's a great game if you're a friend of sword and sorcery. Works both in first person and third person. You can switch whichever you like. I usually use first person when I'm in sneak mode and killing people, or thieving or burglaring or whatever. And when I'm in actual melee combat, I like the third person a lot more. So first person with ranged weapons, so the character doesn't come in the way of my aim, and melee weapons with third person. That's my preference. You pick your own. Don't dismiss the game for not having the latest graphics. There's a lot to the game other than the graphics, and the graphics are decent even by modern day standards. I have seen this year's games that have lot worse graphics. So this is a game for RPG fans and friends of fantasy. There might have been some mods that could add some sci-fi elements, but I'm not quite sure with that. There are of course a lot of different races. You can become vampire if you want to, but there are lots of drawbacks. The system on being vampire is much better in Skyrim, so be sure to check that out if you haven't. And I'll get back to you on Elder Scrolls when I am through with the Skyrim game, and I'll catch you later on with some news of mine. Rock on, folks!